And if you want the remaining of that song, it's better you just go and watch the movie. But I'm here to just talk about what I thought of the movie of K-pop Demon Hunters. I mean, first of all, name is Mr. Mask. For those who haven't seen any of my videos, this is my first video. I would have made other ones, but it's as if the world was just working against me. Went and fell sick, and my laptop has spoiled, or is not working anyway. Well, you could just say it's spoiled, but so I need to get it fixed before I can do my thumbnails. But hopefully that will be sorted out by next week. But until then, it's just a black thumbnail you guys will be seeing for those who see my videos. Hopefully, it's a good amount. On a normal day, this should have come out like it should have been my third video because I had another video coming out. But since this movie has already come out since a while ago, it's better to just put this one now. Then the next one is a Superman video, so Superman's never come out. I can still push that one here because while I want to be topical, I also want to be timeless. So it's better to get things ahead of the curve. But we'll see how it goes. But you guys have heard me enough talking enough about it, so let's just get into the review of the video of the movie. Short story is a great movie. Long story. I mean, there are so many things you can point out. Although I don't really know how I want this video to be. Should it be have a bit of spoilers? I mean, I don't want to spoil the whole movie. Although it has come out for like 2 weeks now on Netflix. But it's better not to spoil the movie so that you can actually go and watch it. Because while I'm here critiquing the movie, what I always see from critics is they don't really, or what people want from critics is not really to enhance their perception of the film, but it's more of it to be their only perception. Like you know how with Snow White, and I can bet a lot of money. I don't have any, but if I could, I would. That a lot of people just watch critics complain about the movie than the people that actually saw the movie. And if you can ask anybody whether or not that is a right or wrong decision. Me, I'm down in the middle. I mean, I think that movie. I when I think of toxic relationships, I think that movie should be number one on that. If there was a picture asking for what a toxic relationship looks like, Snow White should be the front and center because it was so parasitic. It did not help either of the movie or Richard Zegler being associated with one another. So that is it. Let's talk about that movie this better, but you guys aren't here for me talking about Snow White. You're here for K-pop Demon Hunters. Hopefully, if somebody's listening to this. So first impressions of the movie. This playlist on your phone will be grateful. You know, I mean, there were like 6 songs in this film. I mean, even if you don't know Korean, a catchy tune is a catchy tune, right? It's not like you get lost just listening to the music. So I think it's something you can get past. It's fine. We are a evolving society. We can listen to other things. We don't really necessarily need to understand the words of lyrics before we could be nod our heads to them. I don't think so. But that was my first impression overall as a movie. But let's start from the very beginning of what I noticed. I wrote some things down because I mean it's my first time reviewing, so let's just hold some things down. The first thing I wrote, well, the premise of the film. Actually, let's talk about the premise of the film first. It's about 3 girls who have been raised from a young age to stop demons from taking people's soul. And how were they able to do that? Well, by the power of music. These songs that they wrote or they sang was able to join everybody together to create the honeymoon. this mystical barrier that separates the real world from the demon world. And that's your premise. We have three girls who are trying to stop demons from taking the souls of their fans. I mean, there have been weirder things in movies. Let's not waste our time on that. The first thing I thought of, they were in an airplane trying to do that introduction song. How it's done, done, done. Very catchy. Is was a great song, great introduction, I believe. He served a purpose, and that was getting you introduced to the three characters. The three characters' names were Rumi, Mira, and Zoe. Zoe is one of the cheerful type. I mean, I'm sure people would like that. Probably she was probably the youngest too. Mira, the cold, serious type. Rumi, the leader. I must say, wow, between you and me, depending on who's listening to this, Rumi is, I mean, it's been once the cartoon character got this kind of emotions out of me. I think the last one was probably when I was still like in my teenager times when I first watched Zootopia with Judy. I assure you, I'm not a furry. I'm not. I'm not. I just appreciate beauty. Okay, I'm a simple man. But damn, Rumi. Hmm. I mean, how they animated her was really good. Her whole line. Well, the first second thing I noticed while they were doing that introduction song was she looks good in a jacket. I legit wrote it here. I mean, she is a baddie, but why is her jacket so puffy? I mean, she looks good in it, but still, it just looks weird because um, all the other girls were not wearing. I just felt like, is she trying to give leader energy? I don't know. It's something you will find out, or maybe I'll just tell you. Yeah. It turns out she is part of the demons that she's meant to be fighting against. Well, not really part of. She's half and half. Only God knows how the family reunion. We don't get to see it, but only God knows how it would have been because the mom's dead. I mean, and she happened to be raised by her sister, one of the previous demon hunters, and it was this lady that also trained Mira and Zoe to become demon hunters themselves. She's the only person who knew about her little secret, and she explicitly told her she should not reveal it to her friends. I mean, even from the get go, there I could already see that is going to cause trouble. But at the end of the day, you're listening to a modeling figure. It is what it is. That situation could have definitely been handled better by both of them, especially in the ending. But it is what it is. I mean, I no, I'm sorry. I was just looking at my notes. Room is a body. Why is a dragon so puffy? Oh, now we know. uh, so that's the beginning part. That's how they get the introduction into the show because they have a manager. I mean, his name escapes me now because I wasn't really paying attention. I don't think he will be as important of a character because I just thought of him as comic relief. Because they will, after the show, their concert of the introduction, they were having makeup in, what do they call them? Staff, sorry, treating them, taking care of their nails, giving them water. And it turns out they were meant to be going on a vacation and they just told him, you know what? I think it was Bobby. You know what, Bobby? You can have it. You enjoy yourself. And he was like, all right, 2 weeks to myself. Uh, But Rumi had different plans. As you know, she is half demon. So she tried to get, I don't know, Let me talk about the Hunmu for a second. I didn't mention it before, but apparently they needed to turn gold. It's just silver right now. There are inklings of gold in scattered around the Hunmu, but they need it to be gold all around. It's when it finally turns gold that is when it is complete and the demons are expelled from the human world. So Rumi, since she has been told to keep her things, uh, they have patterns, demons. You can tell from them from their patterns. Rumi has some on her body, so is why she wears the jacket all the time. Yeah, if I didn't make that clear before, that's why she covers herself. It's a running gag why she doesn't go to the bathhouse with them. That was pretty funny. I mean, this movie is very funny, very very funny. It it doesn't try hard, and which I'm very surprised at because when I first saw the trailer, I was expecting this to, especially the younger one, to just be a comic relief and annoying the hell out of me. But surprisingly, the most annoying one here was Mira. Well, because she has the same personality as me. I mean, we all know ourselves. We may like characters because they represent us, but doesn't mean we'll like them if we ever met them in real life. And I feel as if her character was being, I don't know, is it purposefully, yes, let's say purposefully being aggressive towards Demon, even though we weren't really shown why. We know why Rumi was against Demon so vehemently because it was a form of projection. But Mirror Zone wasn't really explained to me. That's why I felt like it just annoyed me when the situation needed her to be aggressive with demons. But minor nitpicks here and there. The animation is great. Great. I mean, I was surprised. It's very expressive, very good facial expressions. I could only see two flops throughout the whole movie. That should just tell you something. I first saw you guys heard the beginning of this song. It's a song by the Demon Boy Band. Ooh, I guess I should probably talk about them. Okay, let's rewind. I'll talk about the flops later. But let's rewind a bit and see why is there a Demon Boy Band now. Well, I mean the Demon King. Well, he has a name, but let's just call him the Demon King for now. He's not really happy he's about to get sealed away. So somebody comes in and plays him a song. And he looks at him and says, "Why are you pissing me off right now?" I said, "I have a plan." He then brings out four other guys with him and they strike a pose. And everybody, because they're in the demon world. That are in demon world. The demon king, he doesn't even have an appearance. He's just like a pillar of fire. Not even like a pillar of fire. He's like a wide area of fire. So he looks at this and says, "A demon boy band. What makes you think this is going to work?" I was just funny because the five demons just transformed into hot men and they struck a pose again, and everybody all the surrounding demons just were like, "Yeah, this is definitely going to work. Absolutely, absolutely. We aren't even hesitating here." And that's really how they were formed. The main guy, Genu, I mean, all of them are. I, let's just list the five. They don't really have good names. The name of the boy band is Saja Boys. So each of them are named with Saja. There is Mystery Child Saja. He has a hair covering his face. There's Baby Saja, who happens to have a baby face. There's Abby Saja, who happens to have abs. And then there's Roman Saja. And then there's Jinu. Yes, I can see who is really the main. Also, it's not as if they named them. This is really what they are named actually. We don't know any other name apart from this for these specific demons. Only Jinru has a real name and actually a backstory, but we'll get back into that later on in the video. Oof, I need some water. But let's rewind a bit actually. Because to explain Saja Boy's introduction, we'll need to because we'll need to explain how they were able to come in so easily, and that's more of a case of the heroes needed to be weakened a little bit. I was showing while after their introduction, they were supposed to have a vacation, as I said before. But Rumi, since the whole moon was showing sparklings of green gold, she got a bit too impatient, and for something that was meant to be only released after the 2 weeks of vacation, she released another song immediately after. I mean, that day, that started a tour all over again. Then very next day. So you can imagine how ridiculous that is in real life if somebody just decided to do and you're a manager. I I mean, the movie is a very good representation of how fan bases operate anyway. Very good, both the good and the bad. The struggles of living consistently to a certain level and keeping your fans invested in you. I think he did that very well, especially with this golden. That's the name of the second track they were trying to release, and they were trying to go on and do a live for it. But as the things pressure started building up, Rumi's voice started failing her, and he started, doing the whole crack crack. And it didn't really help that she was trying to rush things when things weren't meant to be rushed in that specific situation. So her voice was giving out and she couldn't really handle it. So they had to cancel the tour, they had to cancel the concert, and fans weren't happy. Now, her fans were understanding of her situation, which was very nice to see. It wasn't like they blamed her. Well, they did question why she wanted to release it so soon and why she was rushing, but she just said so that everything can be better. Now we all know it's to be better for her, but they don't know that they just thought of her as, oh, she's just being a good leader. She just wants the demons to be gone. But she has a vested interest in this. So uh more on that later. Now, to solve her voice, the Zoe decided to take her to a doctor, in my humble opinion. I mean, he has good insight, but I don't think his medicines are up to snuff. So they wanted to get her some tonic. So another a great example of good part of animation here was how the doctor was trying to analyze Rumi. And he was just saying, I see. And his eyes just grew so wide. I don't see. You have many walls. And everybody just started agreeing and saying, I mean, she doesn't even go to the bathhouse with us. I'm telling you, I don't need to, said Rumi. You know? So the doctor was then went on to Zoe, talked about her over need of trying to please everybody. He then went to Mira and she just stared back at him. The dude just said nope. Maybe like a cat retreating. uh, it's, I'm sorry. It just that part was funny to me actually. I don't know why. Anyway, so no, Rumi just wanted the tonic water, and he gave them a pack that looked like tonic water. I say that because it was really just grapefruit, but when you plaster it, then ain't nobody gonna notice until it's too late. So they were coming out of the doctor's place where they finally meet the Saja boys. Now, these men are attractive, okay, to these ladies anyway. Yeah, I wasn't even fine. I not my type. S- They looked like they could. their eyes were just, if you know those things, corn, right? Just popping into popcorns at that point. They were gushing over these people. Ruby was the only one looking serious at the time until she met her match and saw Jinu. And the most ridiculous thing, they were just passing. The slightest bump I have ever seen in my life, this girl went and tumbled down as if she was just pushed for no reason. Fell all of her things. And then when she was brought out her hand, expecting the dude to take it, all he did was just psych and clean his shoulders. And the girl looked at him and said, "What?" And Juju just said, "Watch yourself." And the first thing I thought was, "How dare you?" And she just said, Jesus Christ. And then the girls just started talking about, boys are so good. And then from there, they were hearing a beat. And these men were just making their debut into the song business. You know, this is their demons. Didn't even have any experience in it before. They went to a very crowded area. They have magical abilities, so to normal people, it really would just be special effects. They came in smoke, true smoke, and started singing Soda Pop, that song that I was playing in the beginning of the video. Very catchy song. I mean, very, very catchy song. You really should download. I mean, this download anything that appears in this movie because they're all good. Is it my favorite? I mean, it's definitely the one I will listen to the most because it's of how catchy it is. But I wouldn't say it's my favorite. Maybe third. Yeah, you definitely be the third. Yeah, and it's the second of the Saja Boy songs. The next one, I mean, you're better off just watching that one on your own. I mean, these bastards, they can have my heart, but I refuse to give them my souls. Um, Although, yeah, the animation, I did say that I'll talk about the flop. It's it's not as if it's a problem. If you won't even notice it because the animation here is smooth. Like, and their attention to details is what I really appreciate. Things like that. You can have the expressiveness, but you should also be able to show. There are times when more is needed, and there are times when you just need less, and it's just the emotions of the characters, and you're showing it properly. That's what I did. Those slight things, because they really could have just pretended as if it was just part of the movie, like one of the Saja boys conjuring hearts and showing it at people. It could have just been a, oh, it's just a throwaway thing, because there are some throwaway things in the movie that you will just wonder and say, how did this go? Like clothes changing, people are suddenly flying. They could have just let it be like that, but I'm surprised they made reference to it. So that was pretty funny. But that was pretty cool, not really funny. So at the end of their song, they conjured up a soda can and they jumped on it to create this air mist that changed the whole appearance of the square. So the flop I was talking about is just them jumping on it. I think it was a Roman Saja. He looked as if he lagged a bit before he could hit it. His can. Everybody hit it before him. That was the only one. The second one definitely was in the near the climax of the movie. In this Saja Boy's second performance, I think the angles of the camera was a bit off. I don't know. It just looked weird how they were, how their choreography went. In my humble opinion, I more things that I could talk about in the movie was definitely the interaction between Jinyu and Rumi. I mean, when you get to know about Jinyu's past, yeah, the first thing that came to my mind was, please don't let these people be father and daughter. Oh Lord have mercy. Because her father is a demon, you know. It wasn't wrong of me to make an assumption like that. Now, thank God it wasn't, or actually, we don't really know. We don't really know her father, actually, even to the end of the movie. It's still a mystery. which I was very surprised about actually. They did some, how do I say it? Yeah, let's just say that after the Soulja Boys did the Soda pop song in the square, they went on a variety show, trying to get more, buzz around them surrounding that new song. And the girls came. I mean, that part that made me laugh was they donned themselves in leather, looking like they're about to get things done, but they just didn't work. They kept getting fought by the Sergeant boys. They ended up actually they ended up going to the bathhouse because Sergeant boys ran there. And again, the girls have kept trying to get her to go to the bathhouse. She never, Rumi, I mean, she never wanted to go because she has to show her skin. And I mean, she has patterns on them. It would never work. But let me just stop right here because I want to talk about one character that I wouldn't say stole the show, but always made me laugh because his name it was the Abby Saja because just of the gag of his abs. There's a time I saw in a bit, but they have a sign, and this dude, instead of to just sign like a normal human being, went and got and just put the paper on his abs and just shaded it. You know how that shading does when mysteries are trying to get something. You just shade a part of it and somebody wrote something. He just shaded the paper over his abs and he got a complete set of abs on the sheet of paper and gave it to people. I looked at it and said, oh, nah, man, that's ridiculous. Ah, well, it is what it is. Oh, another thing about the detail, it would definitely be that makeup. You know how ladies are with that makeup. I thought it was pretty cool how they made sure their face were less, I wouldn't say less defined, but a bit more dulled without the makeup. I just appreciated that. I thought it was pretty cool that of how their attention to detail was even to that. That's again the songs just amazing. But let's talk a bit about the lessons about this movie because there are a few, even though it is a fun song, a fun musical song driven movie. I thought the lessons they were trying to teach hit very, very well. I mean, self worth, acceptance, being comfortable in your own skin. It was just, it caught me off guard, truthfully, because that is not what I got from watching the trailer. Like the trailer, I would give it like a 6.5 out of 10. There were definitely some because how they did it in the trailer, they definitely mixed some things up together that you wouldn't know what the movie will be about. And some that may be seen as false advertising. To me, I don't really see it like that because it's not as if they didn't tell you a different thing altogether. They just told you this is the premise of it, but they didn't really give you the insight. And that's what a trailer should do. A trailer should just get you hyped for the movie. It shouldn't reveal everything in the movie. That is for you to go to the movie and see for yourself. In one part of the trailer that was really annoying me was when they were looking like they are fighting demons and they were showing the two shots of the three girls and each of them, the Zoe and Mira looked serious while they and then Rumi's own she looked scared and I did that part just bothered me because I was just wondering why do it like that. That is weird until you actually see the movie and you see the part where she's scared in the bathhouse because I mean Jinwoo has found out that she is half demon. So that's what was really cool. It was really cool to see how they did that and how they just cut some things to us to give you a different perception of what the movie is. But back to the lessons. I mean, there's a reason. Oh, Wait. Mm, you know what? Let's continue with the movie first because I think another part of the movie is definitely Rumi's denial. Because again, when you're talking about the first movie, the first part of the song, or the first introduction of the characters, it wasn't a rebellious attitude towards demons. It was just them introducing themselves. And in the second song, Golden, was just an uplifting song about their struggles and how they have come so far into them. When they started going against Soldier Boys a bit more directly, they wanted to write a diss track. And this diss track, Rumi had a problem with it because in this one, this is different from the first two songs that we have been introduced to in this movie. This is more antagonistic, more hateful towards demons. And Rumi at first didn't see herself as a demon. But as this song was getting more and more completed, she was getting more reserved about singing it because, I mean, in her eyes, maybe she's projecting sure, but it felt like it was her they were talking to. And it will be shown in the climax to the movie and that it really was something she feared, that it was a song that she was being directed to her of when the heroes are foiled by the villains and they split up momentarily. Because I really appreciated that. So to the lessons, I just feel it gave me Mulan vibes of somewhat of Rumi trying to be worthy of her mother's sister. Love, you know. It's just something that I wasn't expecting from this movie, most definitely. There's a scene in the ending, again, with less is more people, of just that small interaction when she finally confronts, let's just call her aunt, yes, let's just call her aunt. When she finally confronts her aunt about why she doesn't love her the way she is. And there's just this scene of, there's something she should have done, but she just didn't do it. And if, again, I won't spoil it because I feel like that is an impactful moment that you should watch just for you to notice the details of why it is important for her to have done that thing, but she didn't do. It could have given her so much assurance, and it followed up when her friends then do it. Because, mind you, her friends also did something that would be impactful in the climax of the movie. But I feel those two scenes were just what that movie needed, just to give it that impactful thing. Because it's a funny movie, but it also needed the heart to it. And I think that it delivered in that. The lessons that I got from this movie were for you to be comfortable in your own skin, quite honestly. I mean, you can't always wait for people to accept you. You need to accept yourself first. And that's really what this movie told me, or what I felt like this movie was trying to tell me. It's just is this, I don't want to talk about one of the songs in the ending, but it was something that it really, really spoke home. Is this spoke home? That really, really drove a point with me. That things can't go back. Trust has already been broken, right? Trust can't be fixed. It can just be made anew, right? Her heart was broken into a million pieces, but now she can appreciate the beauty in those pieces. Was one of the lyrics in the ending of this song, which I just found to be so beautiful because that's really what it is. That's really the gist of it. That we can't really change what we can't change. We can only accept what we can. And your perspective, man, is really yours and yours alone. It can only be experienced by you and not fed by you. Because Rumi was taught that demons are bad. She was taught, Mira was taught that, Zoe was taught that. I mean, Zoe's one was a bit more funny because she was very she if she could fall in love with that demon, I think she would have. Actually, she was trying to anyway, but she was definitely trying to hit it with the mystery Sacha. But I think for me, this lesson was definitely for Mira and for Rumi because they were so aggressive to this demon, and then they started seeing that maybe their perspective isn't their own, but it was just given to them by somebody else. And I think that is really something that we all as people should always strive for and try to see things in our own lens and not in other people's lenses. Well, I think that this film is really great and I would really want other people to go and watch it if you haven't watched it. I mean, I can't stand here and say that, but this review is the most perfect review. I'm just starting, so I can't really say I got the minute details down in how to critique a movie. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be doing movie reviews. I just wanted to do this one because I really liked it. I mean, there will be times where I'll see a movie or a series that just pisses me off, and I will be like, "Do I really want to review it?" Because there's already so much negativity in the world. I mean, is there really a point to review it? I mean, I could just point out a thing that really just annoyed me in the whole show and just talk about that one. But I just feel as if people already talk about things negatively on a day-to-day basis. Is that what do they call it? Gimmick. So why join it? I can just talk about things that make me laugh. I'm already a hard person, already a negative person in general. I mean, so I have a more appreciative stance on movies that fiction or shows or anything that can bring a smile to my face. I have more appreciation for those ones, and I would definitely like to talk about those ones more than I would something that would just annoy me to talk about. But that's really it for this video. The next one will be I'll always try to say what my next video will be so that people can have a grasp of what's coming next. And it would be Snyder Boys. I understand you, but you all need to move on. I think that will be the clip on the next video. But anyway, that was it. I appreciate anybody who listened. I think damn 30 minutes. I will try to see if I can skim this down. I appreciate anybody who listened to this. Thank you for giving me your time. Peace out and take care.